Hey everybody, it's Laura from the Live4Love challenge and welcome to day 2. Hopefully you made it through day 1 without too much trouble and had a lot of fun adding some play and spontaneity to your day. Today is day 2 and today you are going to get to say no to something that's not right for you. Sounds great, right? Sounds super easy, fun, can't wait to not do something. If you're a busy person who's got a long to-do list, like the idea of saying no and turning something down just sounds so good, right? Well, when I tried to say no to things that weren't right for me, it was June of 2019, which was my year of living like Prince, and I could not wait to get started saying no. I had spent the previous 5 months doing all sorts of things outside my comfort zone, like turning myself into a symbol and, drawing it on a name tag and introducing myself that way at, public events. It was a thing, right? I was out doing a lot of things and I was just so excited to not do things. Like I thought this is going to be the greatest. Well, I will tell you, that turned out to be my hardest challenge of the year. I had no idea what a people pleaser I was. And I think a lot of us are raised to be people pleasers. We're trained to say yes and help and extend ourselves when we see someone. I mean, I think I do it even when someone doesn't ask for help. I volunteer things that they aren't even asking for. It's just how I was conditioned, and I think probably a lot of us are the same. But Prince knew the power of the word no. And in fact, on January 21st, 2016, during his last concert at Paisley Park, one of the things he told the audience that was assembled was, "No is a powerful word when used correctly." That is our goal for today. One of Prince's most famous no's happened in 1985 when he declined to participate in the recording of We Are the World, which was a fundraiser for famine in Africa. And Prince had strict standards about where and how and with whom he would perform, and performing with a huge group of musicians who are also stars on equal footing just it was not something that was right for him. So he declined. He just wouldn't compromise. And he got a lot of flack for that. So I think we have to remember too, it's not always easy to say no. It can make you feel like, geez, do I look like a jerk? But at the same time, it's really important to stay true to yourself. And when you say no to something, you open up room for something else to come in, which may be right for you. So, but you have to be willing to say no without knowing maybe what else could fill its place. So what Prince went on to do was he offered to record a song for that album, and that's called For the Tears in Your Eyes, and it's on YouTube on the Prince channel if you'd like to hear it. But yeah, he wasn't always. I think, one thing we have to remember is although Prince had a lot of habits and behaviors that led to his extraordinary success, right? Anyone who becomes a global superstar by definition, is doing things out of the norm. And he had a lot of great habits and behaviors to emulate. He was not a perfect person. And sometimes he hurt people, inadvertently, but also sometimes he was doing things that were right for him, and he wasn't afraid to do those things if it served him and, more importantly, probably his music. So today I want you to say no to one thing. And you might not get an opportunity that comes in where someone asks you to do something and you can say no. It's only one day, it's a moment in time. You really need probably a month. Like I had to naturally have some things to come up that you could say no to, but maybe you can say no to yourself in some ways. Like maybe you're trying to eat healthier and you find yourself standing in the pantry, as we all do during these days of the pandemic when we're bored or anxious. A lot of us have found ourselves standing in the pantry looking for answers, right? So instead of grabbing some chips or cookies, maybe you say no to them. Tell yourself no and walk away because those things are not right for you. Maybe they aren't a match. That's one easy way to practice saying no. Or one thing I did during June of 2019 was I stopped checking my email first thing in the morning because I realized that what I was doing was immediately sending myself off on a trajectory for the day that was essentially responding to other people's requests, so responding to what they wanted. So it was a reactive mode that I started my day in, and a lot of times it would be noon and I'd finished kind of this flurry of activity and I'd look at my to-do list and I wouldn't have crossed a single thing off of it. And so what I started to do was make room for my own priorities first, right? Like what were the first couple things on my list that were going to be kind of hard to do, and do those first before I even opened my email to see what other people were asking of me that day. That's one easy thing maybe you could try today. Even take a pause in checking your email during the day and give yourself room to finish something that's important to you. So I'm excited to see how you say no. It might be hard. I mean, I failed a lot during the month of June. I had people asking me things that I immediately, like in a knee-jerk reaction, would just say yes to. I had a friend text me to test me out, like unwittingly. I had no idea she was doing this, asking me if I would pay for her to get a ticket to fly home to Italy. And I immediately said yes. And then she said, Laura, you're supposed to say no. Like no is a learned behavior. So be patient with yourself. I know I failed my way to success that month. I had a lot of times when I just didn't have it in my heart to say no. But I learned, and it was a muscle that I started to exercise, and it can get stronger over time. So come to the Facebook group. Let us know what you said no to today. How did it make you feel? Was it really uncomfortable? Did you get a weird feeling in the pit of your stomach, or was it fun? Were you like tossing out no's like candy in a parade? Let us know how it went, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow for dress up day. You might want to give a little thought to that tonight about what you might want to pull out of your closet to wear tomorrow. And meanwhile, keep a little Prince of in your heart at all times. Okay, thanks for being here. Bye.